Oh man. Oh man. Hold on, man. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. Please, thumbs up or let me know I'm good in the comment section. Oh man. I think I th- I think I might have lost like 5 years off my life. I think I might have lost 5 years off my life in this game. Where, where, where do we start? Where do we start? Where do we start with this game? I'm sorry if I'm yelling. I'm very, very emotional right now. First off, what a game. What a game. And if you're a New York Giants fans, when it gets down to the fourth and overtime and the kickers get involved, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. You felt the pain creep in as at the end of the game. As soon as we knew who Brandon Aubrey was. We knew who Brandon Aubrey was, and we knew that all Dallas needed to do was get 3 points to tie the game to get us into overtime. And the defensive coordinator, decided to play soft at the end of the fourth. Decided to play soft. You sent 3, you sent 4, nobody got home. What did Dak Prescott do? He picked you apart, got in field goal range, and the kicker did his job. But before I get into that, listen. Leave Shane Bowen in Dallas. First off, leave Shane Bowen in Dallas. That's the first mission. Leave Shane Bowen in Dallas. Now, I got to talk about some positives before we get into this negative, right? How many points did we score? How many points did we score? Last week we couldn't score any touchdowns. This week we put up how many points in the fourth quarter alone? How many points did we put up? Russell Wilson stepped in a time machine today. And this was some of the best quarterbacking I've seen coming from a New York Giant, and I don't know how long. And I don't know how long. That's a good thing. But at the end of the day, what happened on that play in overtime with Russ? What happened? What happened? I was praying that it was going to be a forward pass, but it was backwards. But that my family, right? I've been yelling like a maniac for the last 3 hours. And that's a fact. Well, hold on. Wired Iron Strong. And I'm gonna get to these super chats. There's no moral victories at all. No moral victories at all. At all. I'm just pointing out what happened in the game. Russell Wilson throws for almost 500 yards, right? The New York Giants put up 37 points. Malik Neighbors, I don't even know how many yards he had, but he had 2 touchdowns. We've been talking trash about Wan'Dale Robinson, and he showed up. Darius Slayton got involved. The tight ends got involved. Cam Scatterable got involved. The offense was playing today. The red zone was a little bit sloppy, actually a lot of bit sloppy. The penalties. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. We've been saying this. We've been talking about James Hudson. We've been talking about getting him off the field. James Hudson took touchdowns away from us today. On that first drive, we got the ball. Wan'Dale got the ball down to the 1. This man could not hold his composure. Has to slap a player in the face. And I'm not even talking about the time when he actually clubbed the guy. I'm talking about the deep pass, 51 yards. Wan'Dale Robinson runs underneath it, gets to the 1 yard line. That's a go-ahead touchdown right there. 4 points taken off of the board because of James Hudson. How many penalties did we have? And then guess what happened? For all those people out there that said, no, Marcus Bowe is not ready. Marcus Bowe is not ready. We can't just throw What kind of game did Marcus Bowe have? I don't know. You know why I don't know? Because his name wasn't called. Why? Because he was doing a good job. And when offensive linemen do a good job, their names don't get called. Their names don't get called. That was a rookie that went in there and played his heart out from the second drive. That's a fact. Where's he at? Big Blue for Life says Bo is ready. Bo is absolutely ready. Let me get to the super chats. I ain't got no music playing in the background. Hold on. Let me get right, man. I'm so emotional. Listen, and I kid you not. I kid you not. When that touchdown to Malik Neighbors from Russell Wilson in the fourth quarter, that should have been a walk-off home run. That should have been a walk-off home run. That's how you end the game. Even the play before that, even the one to Wan'Dale Robinson before that, those are walk-off home runs. And what happened? The defense got on the field, and what did Shane Bowen decide to do? Play soft. Both times, played soft. Hold on, let me get my music on, man. Hold on. I need something to calm me down for a second. Give me a second. Shane Bowen. It worked when you were getting pressure. When you were when you were getting pressure. What goes through your mind? It's working. It's working. Get the pressure. It's working. And you said, you know what? It's 440. It's 55 seconds left. No, not even. 25 seconds left. Everybody back in some three. Let's drop. Even the commentator said, hey, what are you guys doing? Why are you back so far? Even the commentator said, hey, wait a minute. What are you doing? Why are you backing the up so far? And what did Dak Prescott do? Put it right on the seam. Next play, they get the ball, they run the ball, they want to line it up right where Brandon Aubrey wants the ball. And as soon as they lined up for the kick, flashback after flashback. Giants versus New Orleans. Giants versus Carolina. All that stuff it just came back. Took years off my life, I swear. Hold on. I got to respect the super chats. Give me just a moment. Shout out to my man Joseph Wilcox with the $2 super chat. He says, number 55, don't let him play again. Practice squad. Get him out of here. Please. Get him out of here. Shout out to my man Koof, man. He said, man, this coaching ain't it. Trash. Listen. My man Joseph Wilcox with the $2 super chat said, brain fart by Russ. Listen. It went from one of those moments for Russell Wilson. This was going to be a moment for Russell Wilson. He shouldn't have even gotten a chance to mess up in overtime. That shouldn't even have happened to him. You put that type of performance together, what happened to Russ in overtime, that shouldn't even have happened to him. Shouldn't even have happened. That game should have been over as soon as Malik Neighbors got that touchdown and ran to the sideline. The game should have been over then. The Big Moose says, leave Bowen and Hudson in Dallas. Take the bus home. I don't want him back at all. I don't want him back at all. 0550. What's going on, 0550? 97 milk carton, backup center, and nothing. The defense was gassed. Did you see the way Brian Burns was bent over? Pause. They had nothing left. Pause. The defense had nothing. They did it to them. Well, actually, the defensive coordinator, they couldn't tackle. And there's points in this game where, there's points in this game where you can put. They always tell you, that you can't just point to one play. No, yes, you absolutely can. Yes, you absolutely can. You James Hudson, 4 straight penalties. Brian Dable, and I do apologize. I'm going to be all over the place. I'm letting you guys know right now I'm going to be all over the place because I'm still trying to collect my thoughts. I'm still trying to process what I just watched. I had an issue with some of the refs today, some of the play calling, some of the non-calls too, and the play act. I mean the roughing the passers. I got problems with that. But I can't blame everything on the refs. We made some boneheaded plays today. We had some issues today, but at the end of the day, the New York Giants should have won this game. And now the New York Giants are 0-2 and 0-2 in the division. And the crazy thing about it is I can't even feel good about Russ almost putting up 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. I can't even feel good about that right now. Maybe I'll feel good about it, tomorrow when I actually can talk about what happened. The offense was the offense wasn't the problem today, right? The offense wasn't the problem. They were moving the ball downfield. Theo Johnson did not drop the ball today, right? Darius Slayton got involved. Wan'Dale Robinson got involved again. And Malik Neighbors looked like the Malik Neighbors we drafted, right? Right. And old man Russ. They took the glory away from Russ, man, today. Y'all know how I feel about Russell Wilson, man. Again, it should have never happened that way. Put it that way. Let me get to these super chats. Hold on. Shout out to my man Talking Echo with the $4.99 super chat. He says, my delusional self says we started 0-2 in 2007 with one bad game and one high-powered game, but my actual self is like, listen, thank you for that fact, though. I will say this, though. I'm much more impressed with what the offense did. Shout out to Cam Scatterboo for running the ball. Shout out to the offense. Shout out to Russell Wilson. I don't know if he can catch lightning in the bottle again like he just did today, though. Please, everybody, please don't expect that from Russ every game. Now, you might have the potential to see something like that, but a 500-yard game, don't expect that. That's why I'm so mad about this, man. What is going through Shane Bowen's mind, and then also what is going through Brian Dable's mind? You saw the first down, and you saw him drop those guys back. Why didn't you step in and say, no, we're not doing prevent. We're up 3. We're not doing prevent. He played the game. He played not to lose, not to win. That's how Shane Bowen played this game. He played he played soft, flat out. It was soft. It was soft. Listen, this is about us Giants fans. Shout out to Sydney Angel with the $5 super chat. People need to pump the brakes with Dart. Let Russ cook. He has the X factor. Listen, he let the ball go today. That's what we needed to see last week. He let the ball go today. Big plays galore. Big plays galore. I can't. A perfect 4 quarters played by Russ. It should have never got the overtime. I'll put it that way. Hold on. Let me get to the regular chat for a second. My man Shaq said I called it 0-2. You didn't call this game, no. You didn't call it looking like this. My man Johnny Lovely, I saw you on Twitter. He said, man, I'm legit sick to my stomach. Listen, the roller coaster of emotions that I had in the last 3 hours, again, I believe it took years off my life. Screaming at the top of my lungs. Baghdad, that's a fact. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Money Mike says Russ went crazy. No Russ slang. Get your comments in here, please. Get the comments in here. We gonna talk, man. I want to know what y'all thinking, man. It ain't just about me. It's not just about me. I'm gonna react. My man Cornelius Lewis, he says defense cost us the game. They were dirt tied. Listen, the DC cost us the game. The defense got to execute. Yes, I understand. Yes. I needed to close it. 25 seconds left on the clock. Let me ask you guys this, right? 20 seconds left on the clock. Giants fans, you knew what up 3. You knew what it was. You knew what it was. Flashbacks. If you've been a Giants fan long enough, you thought about the flashbacks. And I was praying that the guy missed, but I knew better. Hold on, let me get down to the bottom of the comment section. Hold on. Good Lord, you guys are flooding the comment section right now. Hold on. Nico says, never got my hopes up. I knew Bourne was going to take the bowl in the end. Listen, you're lying. Nico, you are lying. If you telling me that you watched that game and your hopes didn't get up, you don't have a pulse, brother. I'm sorry. It's no way. It's no way. No way possible. No way possible. Shaq, I hear you, man. Shaq, I see you. 0-2. I see you. I see you. Loki, too, said Aubrey is the best kicker in the league. Everybody knew that, but Shane Bowen. Everybody in the world knows Aubrey's the best kicker in the league, except for Shane Bowen. It is what it is. Strider, what's going on, Strider? He says Carter, yeah. And Carter's tackle on the 2nd and 29 or whatever, it was in overtime, was unacceptable. Yeah, he whiffed. How do we always give up the big runs like that, man? 2nd and 29, God gave us a blessing. And Shane Bowen snatched it out of our hands. Yo, yeah, Tony High Point, yes. My blood pressure is through the roof. I'm just now coming down. I'm just now coming down. This right here, we might have some people on the show. Like if we would have got that walk-off touchdown and the Giants won the game in Dallas, you know how much stuff, you know how much of a celebration it would have been. But instead, right? Instead of celebrating the win, we're sitting here with egg on our face. Egg on my face. Not even egg. Egg on Shane Bowen's face. Egg on Dable's face. Now let's start at the beginning though. Let's go back to the beginning. I'm sorry. Like I said, I do apologize. I'm going to be all over the place. Shout out to everybody for hanging in there with me. Okay. Shout out to my man Formula Red with the $4.99 super chat. He says Russ made a boneheaded play at the end, but Hudson single-handedly lost the game for us. We score on that drive instead of yes. The 1 yard line gets called back to the 15. Yes, you can point to that play for sure. Joseph Wilcox, $5 super chat says, "What a throw to Neighbors and a catch with a hand over his eyes, no flag." That's what I'm saying. That's if I ever seen a walk-off home run in football, that was one. That was your ride off into the sunset. Let's get on the plane and take this W back to New York. That's what that should have been. That's what it should. Every time I try to start at the beginning, I can't because I keep getting, I keep thinking about the flashback. Like, it's 25 seconds left. It's 25 seconds left. You've been getting on Dak's nerves. And then you drop players back 15 yards. 15 yards. You're dropping players back 15 yards. Why? I need to know why. Somebody tell me why did you do that? Why did Shane Bowen do that? And why did after the first down, why didn't Brian Dable say, "Wait a minute, cut that"? Y'all gonna have me cussing in here, man. Cut it out. Brian Dable, you're the head coach. You should have grabbed Shane Bowen by the neck and said, "No, we're not doing that today. We're not doing that today. Grip it. We're not doing that today." But no, second down happened. And what happened? All right, man. I can't even celebrate Russell Wilson throwing for almost 500 yards. Malik Neighbors having almost 200 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Giants putting up 30. I can't even celebrate. They stole that from me. They stole that from y'all. They stole our W. Now, let's talk about the dart package, right? The dart package. After we saw the dart package twice, it was enough. I felt like the third time was forced. The people also said the same thing, but guess what? It worked. But I also know this. Despite the game that Russell Wilson had, when Jackson Dart is in the game, teams don't know what to do, kind of. Teams don't know what to do. He did slip. I mean, he slipped when he tried to. He should have gave it up that last time when he slipped too. But I guess he said, "You know what? I don't know how many more times I'm gonna get in this game. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one." But The Giants weren't supposed to lose that game, man. And I'm at a loss for words, man. And I can talk. Charlie says, I can't keep doing this. Junior Plays says, lock down CD for nothing. That's another thing. CD was talking all of that trash. And they had him in handcuffs for 4 quarters into that last drive. They had him clamped. CD was clamped. George Pickens was clamped. The tight end Jake Ferguson got a couple of plays. You can't lose like that, man. My man, Karen, Karen. She said, sad it ended like this. I never prayed so much. I'm sad for the Giants fans. I was praying. I did another game where I didn't sat down. My back is gonna hurt once the adrenaline leaves my body. It's bad. Heart and finish. Kennel says over 80 plays, D was gassed. That's a fact. They couldn't even stand up. They gave them everything they had. Everything they had. Carter, Tibbs, Burns. Even though Dex didn't have the impact that he should have, or that we're used to, those guys played hard, man. Blazing says 0-2 moral victory ? Ain't no more victories, man. Ain't no more victories. We're not doing that today. If I missed your comment, go ahead and put it again. Just go ahead and add it again. We're gonna get through these comments for sure. Because we're venting for sure. We're venting for sure. NYG31 says Shane Bowen is the who lost this game. That's a fact. He is the who. He's the what. He's the why. He's all he. Karen said it's so sad. Listen, this. Now I'm gonna take a step back and I'm just gonna have you guys just imagine with me, right? Just imagine for a moment with me, right? The Giants, Russ drops back, hits Malik Neighbors, walk off touchdown, 25 seconds left on the clock. Giants go up 3, right? Defense goes out there. Instead of playing soft, they get aggressive. Sack fumble by the closer. Giants, victory formation, head back to New York. That's how the game should have ended. That's how the game should have ended. Sack fumble, batted pass, interception, turnover on downs. That's how the game was supposed to end, and it didn't. It didn't. I'm going to be absolutely real with y'all, man. When the camera panned to Russ on that last pass to Malik Neighbors, Russ realized that Malik Neighbors caught the ball. Russ stared through the roof of the Cowboys Stadium, pointed at God, and said, "Thank you." I could have cried. I almost cried. It felt right. It felt right. It felt right. Oh man, we got robbed. 0550 says blame defense, Bowen, refs, or Hudson, but don't blame Russ, Wandell, Neighbors, Burns, or KT. When AT comes back, where does Bo go? Because he has to start. That's a good problem to have. That last one is a good problem to have. And guess what, though? Guess what? If Marcus Bo starts that game over Hudson, New York Giants have what? 41 points, because we got robbed from 4 from a touchdown and had to settle for 3. If we get the touchdown, that's 4 more points. And then the game ends 41 to what? 34? Because then at that point in time, they need a go ahead touchdown, not just a field goal, and that 25 seconds feels even better. Shout out to Murdoch 42, $5 super chat. He says coaching staff sucks, but I'm really happy to see some life from this team. Love to see the fire in the players. Leak yelling at Hudson. Yes. No more victories. No more victories. I understand. And even though the game ended the way that it ended, I'd rather lose like that than lose the way that we lost last week. And it still sucks. It still hurts. It still doesn't feel good. But I will take losses like the losses we had today over what we looked like last week 10 times out of 10. I had hope. I was cheering for 4 quarters. The top of my lungs. My kids are running through the house. They're running out of their rooms because their father sounds like a maniac. I'd rather take a loss like this 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. I tell you what, though. I'm ready for the Chiefs. I'm ready to fast forward to next week. I was hopeless before this game. Shout out to my man Cop Pizzle. Cop Pizzle always says, what do they do? The Giants reel you in. I'm all the way reeled in. I got new life. They gave me something to cheer for. We're still 0-2. We're still rock bottom in the division. We still gotta try to, crawl ourselves out of the grave. But guess what? I'm excited for next week already just because of what the offense did this week. It showed me, except for in the red zone was awful. We are horrible in the red zone. But it showed me, and maybe Dallas just isn't good, but the way Dallas played the Philadelphia Eagles. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my energy for a little bit. Y'all bear with me. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb. Talk trash. Andrew Phillips, in my opinion, got the better of him. Was not Trayvon Diggs? Yeah, Trayvon Diggs, right? Trayvon Diggs. Somebody had posted on Twitter, Trayvon Diggs might travel with Malik Neighbors. And I said, fantastic. Barbecue chicken. Diggs was barbecue chicken. Wandell smoked him. Maybe I do got a couple more victories in me. Wandell smoked him. Neighbors smoked him. Slayton, I don't know if that Slayton deep pass was on Diggs, but I'm gonna act like it was right now. Slayton smoked him. Two things. We should beat Dallas the second time we play them. I don't care if they're 100% healthy or not. And also, I'm ready for the Commanders rematch again. And I can't wait to see the Philadelphia Eagles week 6. Hold on. Let's see what else we got here. Hold on a second. Blazing says, coping some more. I refuse to. Listen, we got enough to be mad at, man. Cool Lee says, we made a lot of mistakes in this game. That's why we lost this game. Oh, well, next game. And guess what? You can say, oh, well, next game. Why? Because they gave you something to cheer about. It gave you something to look forward to. Guess what? You put Jackson Dart back on the back burner for a little bit. Just for another game, for a little bit longer. And guess who's not going to be the butt of the jokes this week? The New York Giants are not going to be the butt of the jokes this week. I'm not taking no slander from anybody, any other fan base for the New York Giants this week. We can talk. We can point out the flaws in us this week. We can say that Bowen is trash. We can say that Russ that, but don't allow nobody else to talk trash about your team this week because I don't know. And just thinking about the early games, I don't think anybody else put up a performance like what Russ did today. And what Malik Neighbors did today. And what Wandell Robinson did today. Coolly, that's a fact. New York Giants for life. For life. Somebody tap in and give me the score of the Eagles in Chiefs game, please. Please. Cornelius, look, yeah. Banks is trash. I don't listen. Forget the rotation. Another thing that Bowen decided that he wanted to do, because there was a missed tackle by Banks in there too on a run play, where he didn't give 100% effort, or it just was a poor wrap. And then the guy breaks the tackle and gets another 12 yards. That was on the inside run with Javonte Williams. Shout out to Cordell Flott. I think Cordell Flott got beat once. Good route. But yeah, Banks. I don't need to see Banks. And then also, the way that James Hudson, switching subjects, the way that James Hudson reacted when they benched him. Unconsolable on the sideline. 4 penalties. If you're going to be mad at anybody, be mad at yourself. He want to be unconsolable. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Back to back to back to back penalties? What did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? Really in your mind? You lucky you made it through the series. Brian Dable wanted you off the field. And actually, Brian Dable wanted you off the field before the final false start. So I don't know. Listen, Brian Dable made the decision. He said, get that man off the field. I don't know who changed his mind, what changed his mind, but he ended up staying on the field and causing another penalty. So somebody told Dable, no, let's put Bo in on the next series. And then we got a false start from James Hudson right after that. And by that time, Brian Dable was done. Who was overriding the head coach? Who did it? Was it Kafka? Was it Brasillo? Who told Brian Dable, no, I'm the head coach. I want Hudson on the bench. I don't care what anybody tells me. Put Bo in there. And you let him go in there, and he did it again. And then got the nerve to be mad at everybody. Russ had to talk to him. Neighbors was talking to him. They was, keep your head up. What they really wanted to say is get your ass on the bench and shut up. You cost me 4 points. And 4 points would have won us that game. Strider said Hudson shouldn't be on the bench at all. He needs to freaking go. We're paying him a lot of money, too. Mr. Joe Shane opened up his wallet for James Hudson. What are he making, $6 million this year? $6 million next year? And the crazy thing about it, we won't see James Hudson again. We won't. Marcus Bo played so well. And again, I don't know the grades. I'm just saying, I didn't have to look at Bo. He got pushed back into the quarterback one time. I will say that. Again, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that because that was his first game as a rookie. But we're not going to see James Hudson again. I can promise you that. James Hudson is through as a replacement for Andrew Thomas. From now on, Marcus Bo is the left tackle. And guess what? Andrew Thomas, go ahead and get healthy. Take your time. Take your time. You don't want to come back to you right? Take your time. Because I got a young guy that's ready to play right now. And respectfully, thank you for being such a great left tackle. When you get back, fine and dandy. But when you get back, you better be 100%. Because if I'm taking Marcus Bo off the field now, Andrew Thomas better be 100%. And if I'm taking Marcus Bo off the field right now, somebody else's job is in danger. Somebody else's job is in danger. I said it last night. Marcus Bo is one of the top 5 offensive linemen on the team. That means when Andrew Thomas come back and starts, I don't want to move Illuminor. I don't. But they need to find room for Marcus Bo. That's all I'm saying. Find room for Marcus Bo. Twist. Okereke is a walking trash can. He couldn't tackle a standing traffic cone. I think the same thing happened last week that happened this week. Bobby Okereke made a lot of plays this week. But it's the plays that he didn't make that stick in our minds. That's what happened with Bobby Okereke. That's the truth. Because he did make plays today. He was tackling today. But it was the 1 or 2 that he missed that are replaying in our minds. So you're not wrong, Twist. I'm just saying. We're going to add some context to that. Bonnie Laporta, what's going on, Bonnie? Pass rush was not getting home enough and too soft on the backside. Facts. We got enough pressure, but it wasn't consistent. And again, Dexter Lawrence didn't really practice all summer long. He's trying to get his legs back. You see how tired he is. He can't even talk trash the way that he normally talks trash because he's so damn tired. Shout out to Darius Alexander for getting snaps and actually getting some push. That's another thing we got to talk about. I was told 2 days ago by the defensive line coach that Darius Alexander is not ready. Guys got tired today. Darius Alexander gets some snaps, and what did he do? He did pretty well. Stop holding these rookies back. If this season's going to be whatever it's going to be, we need to know what these rookies can do. Marcus Bowe, go ahead and start. Go ahead and start. Cam Scatterboo, he might be starting next week. And that's not even a knock on Tyrone Tracy. You just see the difference when he's in there. And I think it's still running back by committee, but who's the first running back that's going to get the ball? I will say this, though. I don't need to see Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary maybe got 2 carries today, and that was too many. Cam Scatterboo had the hot hand today. He did. He really did. Stick with the hot hand. I understand it's running back by committee. Stick with the hot hand. That's what works. That's what works. And Russ was hot today. He was, man. He really was. Shout out to that dark friend with the 5-month membership. Thank you for the love and support. We lost more than they won. Take it out on the Chiefs. That's a wonderful way to put it. How are them Chiefs looking, man? Because I am trying to see this game because that is our opponent next week. So I definitely want to see this Chiefs game. Some of it at least. Travis Murray says if Bo starts, we win. Penalties killed us. That's a fact. That's if Hudson didn't see the field today. Yeah. It's probably 17-10 going into the half. 17-10 at least. At least. Xavier Jones says they had 2 chances to win. Russ screwed us. It should have never gotten overtime. Russ should have never got the opportunity to screw us. Should have never got the opportunity. He threw it. Yeah. When you get, and again, I'll talk about it. When we should have never went to overtime. But once you got like how much? Listen, the Lord blesses people, right? Right. And the Lord dropped a bunch of blessings down for Russell Wilson today. But there's other guys on this football field that also get blessed by the Lord. And there's just so many blessings you can receive. And at the end of the day, hey. It is what it is. It should have never been an overtime. It's that Xavier, I'm sorry. This should not be a part of the storyline. It is. It absolutely is because it's the truth and that's what happened. But it shouldn't have been. That should not be the storyline. And it probably is because there's going to be some people that are gonna just lean on that overtime when we should have never been in overtime. And guess what? I don't blame you because it's real. That's what happened. Leak for head coach. Mark absolutely says still weak at stopping the run. That's a fact. And you know what it is? It's even when we stopped them, poor tackling. Poor tackling did it again for us too. So and it's crazy too. Is either they broke a big run or once we got there, we were not able to finish. Not able to finish. That's an issue with the Giants. We got to be able to finish. What we have almost 200 yards in penalties. How many teams can say they had almost 200 yards in penalties and still had a chance to win? That does not happen. It was some extracurricular activities going on and some blessings that was falling down for the New York Giants in this game. And at the end of the day, somebody snatched that away from us. Travis Murray says Drew Phillips got that dog in him. That's a fact. Bookend, you already know what it is. Go ahead, pack Hudson up right now. Pack him up. I don't need to see him again. I don't need to see him again. Karen says, "Oh, I'm crying about God with Russ. How beautiful. Bless us all. Go Big Blue." Listen, I kid you not, screaming at the top of my lungs. And then they pan to Russ, and Russ is pointing to God and thanking him. That's how the game was supposed to end. I can't help but look at Shane Bowen like I don't think that Shane Bowen gets fired. But if he were to get fired, I would understand why. And I don't like playing with people's money because it's not godlike. Actually, I take it back. I hope that Shane Bowen learns from this. He probably won't. I hope he learns from this. But that's me with my connection. I can't call for that man's job, but I don't need to see him anymore. LV Shore says absolute garbage or garbo. We tackled like when I used to coach 10-year-olds. Shake them. Listen, it was bad. Gotta wrap up. Gotta hold on. Just the same way that Andrew Phillips held on for dear life and forced the punt. Yeah. I can't get over. I can't believe we played that soft. I can't believe it. Shout out to Jinx. He eats with the $13.99 super chat. He says the O-line screwed us in the first half. We could have won that game if we played two halves of the greatest football. That O-line needs a revamp. As soon as they put in Marcus Bowe, we was moving the ball. We was moving the ball before Marcus Bowe got in there. Just penalties killed us. It just did. But we're not going to see James. James Hudson will not have the opportunity to ruin any more games for the New York Giants. That's 100%. SPP Williams 0-4 with the chart. Listen, 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time. The way that we put up points today, I'm looking at the Chiefs like, yeah, I'm ready for that. Matt Cuz says, I'm ready for fast forward the year. You just want to do a straight up simulation, right? Matt, you want to do a simulation. Oh man. Junior Plays says, just imagine when we get AT back and fit Embo on the O-line. I do have a solution, right? I do have a solution for the offensive line. And it has everything to do with Jermaine Illuminor. Because Jermaine Illuminor can also play guard. Right. If Marcus Bowe is not the option at the guard spot or the center spot, I don't think he's going to be an option at the center spot, at least not this season. You can kick Illuminor inside and play Marcus Bowe at right tackle. Now, I don't want to have to do that, but somehow, some way, Marcus Bowe got to end up on the field. And there's too much, it's too many fingers to point at in the interior offensive line to say, you know what, we just going to hold back and leave Marcus Bowe on the bench. I don't think that happens. I do have a question for you guys, though. When Jackson Dart was out there, how did you feel? Each time he was out there, let me know in the comment section, how did you feel? Everybody, please, let me know how did you feel? Northern Mike says the reps were in Jerry's pocket. Home field advantage is a mother. Shout out to the Giants next week. Look out. There was some bad calls and some missed calls as well. I saw, who was it? Who was getting hold? I saw Carter getting held. I saw Elijah Garcia getting held. And shout out to Elijah Garcia too for making a big play, getting pressure on Dak Prescott. But yeah, they. JL says I rather last year's blowouts and hopeless losses than this. Nah, I can't get down with that. Just think about it. You were captivated the whole game. This is what sports is about. This is what, like the heartache from it. Like we all got our hearts ripped out of our chests. But I'd rather get my heart ripped out of my chest than feel like I felt last week or get blown out and not have a chance at all. I'd rather be in the fight but not in the fight at all. Put it that way. Give me this kind of loss every time. Give me 400, 500 yards of offense. If I'm going to lose and I have no other choice but to lose, I'd rather lose like this. Because guess what we got to see? We got to see what Slayton could be possibly. We got to see what Robinson could be possibly. We got to see what Theo Johnson could be possibly. You don't get to see that in blowouts. You know what I mean? You don't get to see that in blowouts. We got to see who the weak links were today and got to pinpoint, some of the weak links today. And I'm pointing to, I'm one of those laser pointers. I'm pointing at Shane Bowen. I'm trying to hit him in the eyes. That's what I'm trying to do. Get him up out of here, man. Get him up out of here. Quiz too swift. What's going on, Dash? We should have took the field goals on 4th down the 2 times. Hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is 2020. We took the points a couple of times. That one was it 1 or 2 4th downs? Was it 1 or 2 4th downs? Was it just a 1? It was 2 times, huh? I mean, that's hindsight's 2020. I saw that, JL. Good Lord. 9-14. Never forget. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Now, this felt like that Saints game. I think it was back in like 2015 for me. When Eli Manning and Drew Brees went back to back, I think it ended up being 49-51. I think that's what the score ended up being. And we lost by a field goal. And I think Graham Gano was the one that kicked that one and won the game for the Saints. This is familiar. B. Will says, Bo gonna be nice. Yep. Yeah, I think we got one. For sure. Tyrone Hall, what's going on, Tyrone Hall? He says, I'm tired of being a cheerleader for a team that lets me down year in and year out, paying $42.50 a month for 8 months. That's libation money. Let me ask you this, Tyrone, and I understand it hurts. The loss hurts. But you can't tell me you didn't enjoy yourself today. If you tell me you didn't enjoy yourself today watching this game, despite what the ending was, you're lying. I enjoyed this game. I appreciate the 2 possible walk-offs that we could have had. 2 of them. The one to Wan'Dale Robinson should have been a walk-off too. And then we let the Cowboys go right back down the field and score. But that walk-off it should have been a walk-off to Neighbors. Point blank, period. Xavier says, I have a feeling this was rigged or Wilson was selling. Ain't no way. Don't believe it. Yeah, you done piss people off with that comment. Thank you for the score. 7-3. 7-3 who? 7-3 Eagles. Okay. Thank you very much for that. 10-7 Chiefs now. Okay. Appreciate that. What quarter? Is the second quarter still? I definitely got to see the second half. Look like it's going to be a good game. Actually, I'm sitting here acting like I don't got a TV in here. Where's my remote? Hold on a second. Because if it's playing in my area, I'll be all right. Give me just a moment. See if it works. Good Lord. 10-7, 10-7. Luann, I know you had a loss for words, Luann. I know you had. Listen, no Russell Wilson slander. Where my man Jay Ferris at, man? This is the kind of game. Yeah, I can't even get it. I ain't got the right signing for this TV, my YouTube account. For my Sunday ticket, I got to get logged in for that. It is what it is. I'm gonna watch halftime. Okay, that's what it was. Stephen Archie said. He said Mbo in next series though. Okay. Luann says we dominated and lost. Yep. It was probably Joe that told him that. That's hilarious. You with JL on that one? You rather lose with blowouts or lose like this? Or correct me if I'm wrong, John. Because I know it's a lot of comments going on. There it is right there. New York Giants find ways to lose. We do. We keep on inventing new ways to lose. Keep on. We found out. Listen. We're the best at it. we're the best at losing. We love it so much we find new ways to do it. That sucks, man. That sucks. My man Jam nephew said Russ balled out. Giants defense is trash, pure garbage. Yeah. Penalties did one. There was a lot of passes, pass interferences, roughing the passers. You can add that to letting the team down as far as the defense. Some of those flags should have been picked up or should have been no calls. But at the end of the day, when you needed a stop, complimentary football did happen today. But at the end of the day, when you needed a stop, with 25 seconds left, the defensive coordinator let us down. Why would you rush 3? Why? I don't understand. Tiger Metal, I see what you said. You said 12 years of this BS. Listen, I feel you. Lucky, it's a Giants. Nobody don't know about the on the coaching staff know about this Dallas kicker. Best kicker in the league, especially when it comes to deep shots. See, he made a 64-yarder to push the game into overtime. He doesn't even know better. He doesn't even know that he's supposed to be nervous in that situation. That's how automatic he is. Some kickers fold under pressure. He doesn't even know better. He doesn't even know he's supposed to fold in that situation. That sucks, man. Giants lost that game. Dallas didn't win. That's another thing people can say, right? Well, Dallas didn't win that game. The Giants lost. It feels true. Stephen R. says Eli wins that game. Russell Wilson won that game. He really did. Defense gave it up. Like, what do you like? Hold on. Dallas scored. I believe it was 44 seconds left on the clock. Dallas scored. The New York Giants have one timeout. I don't know about you, but at that point in time, it felt like the whole room was dark and it was just me and the TV. I felt like I was in the upside down for the people that watch Stranger Things. Whenever 11 is in that room where it's total darkness and it's just her stepping in water. That's what I felt like in the living room watching the TV with 44 seconds left. I'm sitting here and I'm saying, come on, Russ. And all the people that doubt Russ, probably like, there's no way Russ is going to do this. And Russ did it. He did it. I don't know what the Dallas Cowboys were thinking. They allowed Malik Neighbors to get behind them, and Russ said, there you go. He threw that ball in the air. God caught it and carried it to Malik Neighbors. Placed it in his hands. You're supposed to win that game. We left about 10 seconds of too much clock left. That's what maybe if it was 15 seconds, we would have won that game. 25 seconds did us in. SPP says if we pick number 1 in a draft, can we pick Spags? Spags ain't leaving Kansas City. He about to ride off into the sunset. 0550 gave me Russ numbers: 30 for 41, 451 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And again, that interception was a prayer that he threw up that wasn't answered. The one pass prayer that wasn't answered is the one that got picked off. Neighbors almost made a fantastic play. TP says, yo, listen, I understand. I'm way behind too, man. One throw, leave Bowen at the airport. Stop it. Who you saying stop it to? That's was good, G. And Sneaky G was in the building. I know he was having a blast. But to leave that walk to the car, back to the car, to the parking lot, had to hurt. Dope Boy Zah said it's another effing day. Yeah. Can't be mad at Russ. That's what Sydney says. That's a fact. That's exactly what I'm saying, dope boy. He says, tears of joy at the end of the fourth. We did Russ dirty. The defense shaking my head. That's what I'm pointing at today. Hold on, let me get to the super chat. Shout out to just the guy. Zip Bowen up and get him the F out of here. That's a fact. Jam Nephew, $1.99 super chat. How did Giants blow 2nd and 29 by missing tackles? By missing tackles, and the culprit that missed the tackle was Abdul Carter. That's what happened. Brian Montana with the $9.99 super chat. He says, what was Wilson trying to do? Offense finally looking good, but we still in the fight. But we still in this fight. It's a long season. Listen, I feel bad. I feel terrible about this loss. Let's not get that confused. I feel awful. I feel terrible about this loss. At the same time, I feel a little bit better about the season, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. Now we can go back to the regular plan that we had before. It was like, okay, is Russ being able to move the ball? We can score some points, and then we're going to have this succession with Jackson Dart. We can go right back to that plan. It just looks a lot better now. It just looks a lot better. And you also give Jackson Dart a little bit more time to develop. Because people are not saying, it's not the same conversation that people had last week after the Commanders game. It's a different conversation. Now it's like, okay, we messed this up. We lost this game. How do we fix this? The number one way to fix this is to take Shane Bowen, grab him, and punt him into the Hudson. And then you know what? Go ahead and punt Hudson into the Hudson 2 while you're at it. While you're at it. Because you know what? He can keep his paycheck because, again, you get a severance. Let's be able to take care of your family. Give you a severance. You get your contract money. You're all right. Just leave me be, please. Raymond Lopez with the $4.99 super chat. He says, I'm not even mad. I was expecting us to roll over and die. The offense showed up. We need a better DC. That's one way to put. Again, at the beginning of this, we said no moral victories. Now we get into the moral victory portion of it. The adrenaline has left my body a little bit, and now I think I'm thinking with a clearer mind. Let's talk about this game a little bit before we get out of here. Because we're already at the hour mark. I do want to watch some of this Eagles versus Chiefs games. If you got some more comments, make sure you go ahead and do that. We're gonna let the voice of the Giants fans speak. It's not just me talking up here. Let's get to this comment section and see what you guys have to say. Mark Game says defense collapsed. That's a fact. They were dog tired. Just dog tired. Shout out to my man Mark Thompson in the building. He says it was inevitable that Bo was going to replace Hudson. I thought Forsythe was a better option. That's the end of the quote. I need a little bit more than that. Pause. I need a little bit more than that. You thought it was going to be Forsythe. I'm trying to see if you're going to continue writing anywhere. I don't see anything yet. It is what it is. Mark, we talk all the time anyway, outside of social media and stuff like that. So, yeah, should be a good conversation this week. Ayo Sheed says the Giants blew that game. Absolutely did. You had chances. You capitalized on chances, and the defense just didn't have enough left in the tank outside of Shane Bowen being stupid. I'm yelling at the TV. Why are you playing soft? Anybody out there, check my Twitter real time. Why are you playing soft? What are you doing? You can't play soft here. Broken record. Stamped. Timestamps for all of that. Real time. What is Shane Bowen doing? You guys felt the same thing. Pause. You knew it. Bookend says put someone in place of JMS. Anybody can get it right now. Anybody can go. Anybody can get it at this point in time. That's how I feel right now. A lot of people saying leave Bowen. That's a fact. My man Jam says Russ is the answer. Dart needs to sit. And it's not even about Dart needing to sit. It's just that it's not his time yet, possibly. We needed a game like this from Russ for people to settle down a little bit. Now, there's still going to be some people that are going to be anxious and say that, Jackson Dart should be in there, but I think this might calm people down just a bit. Just a bit. Oh, man. My man is it MAN for Masculine Alpha Network. Daniel Jones is balling again. My point is Dable needs to go. We don't develop nobody. Is he balling again against the Broncos? We really needed this win. I appreciate Russell Wilson having the game that he had. We really needed this win. We really did. D-Dan says, I agree, Dash. A blowout loss is a no-go for me. That's a fact. I haven't had lunch. I'm sitting here starving. I'm running off of fumes and adrenaline. Like, oh, Xavier Jones says Cowboys played bad too and still won. What happened was we gave them a chance that we let them hang around. We let them. Shane Bowen got relaxed. Maybe the players got relaxed, but the play calling was relaxed. I saw stunts and they stopped doing it, and they let Dallas hang around. 3-point lead, and that's what happens when you let teams hang around instead of stepping on their necks. The Giants didn't step on their necks. That's what happened. It should have been constant pressure, waves of it. We already see you rotating fresh legs in, but you need waves and waves of pressure. And this should have been one of those games. It should have been one of those games. And then the most important part, you decided to play prevent. When you know that the kicker can kick the ball 70 yards. 70-yard field goals is not out of the realm of possibility for Brandon Aubrey. And what did you do? You sent people back. The cornerback's heels were near the star. Bobby Okereke is 20 yards down the field. I don't understand. Good Lord. 1 for 2 for fourth down. Okay, thank you. My man David says the worst play in my opinion was the Russ throwaway fumble that that was bad. That was in overtime. That was bad. Especially when you just got some momentum too from the play before. And then that happens. That was bad. And again, but it should have never happened. We should have never been in overtime. Mo says, damn good game. That's a silver lining right there. It was a good game. We let Russ down. No, I didn't enjoy an L. Now, that's a fact. You didn't enjoy it, but you did enjoy the game. Not the outcome, but the game. All right, shout out to is it Bama them 22? Bama them 22 says, I don't know how to feel, Dash. On one hand, I seen the competitive Giants, but a loss is a loss. No, that's a fact. But you did see a competitive ball. I'd rather complain about that. I'd rather complain about a loss is a loss and instead of complaining about the Giants looking the same and we only scored 6 points again. Only scored 6 points. That didn't happen this week. TP. I know I can't. I know you. I know you're gonna have your recap and all that stuff. I'm gonna tap in with you for sure. But salute, like you said, salute to me, salute to you, TP, and salute to the chat for sure. 10-10 Philly Chiefs. Yeah, we about to shut this thing down. I'm about to watch this game, and I'm about to eat lunch at at almost 6:00 Eastern time. Well, it ain't even lunch; it's dinner now. I'm starving. Luann says, I'm having trouble sending a super chat, but I'll get it right. Don't worry about it. Keep commenting. Don't worry about it. Luann says, Dash, we will win 2 games at home. Guess what, though? This performance gives that home crowd life going into that first home game next week. It gives that home crowd life. If we would have lost by a blowout, you probably would have saw planes flying over the stadium with messages on them. There won't be any planes flying over with messages on them. That's what we won't see. Bookend said that was good from 72. Yeah, he had a lot more leg on it too. It was crazy. How did they find that guy? They just found him in the UFL. You saw the story? He was working some kind of job. His wife said, you should do this. And then he started practicing, and then he hired a coach, and then he ended up walking on for the USFL or the UF, whatever the hell the name of that league is. And then the next thing you know, you're kicking for the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to his wife for breathing life into him, for supporting him. His wife told him, hey, you should focus on kicking. And he did it. And next thing you know, he's in the NFL. Shout out to that man's wife for breathing life into that man. Even though I hate it because he's on no other kickers making that kick this year except for Brandon Aubrey. So shout out to his wife, but also, damn. My man James, what's going on, James? He says defense gave up 40 points to a team without a dominant running back or elite quarterback. Not sure if both sides played complementary today. When it was tight, when the game was tight, the defense got the ball back to the offense. That's the only complementary football we saw. Now, the offense let the defense down at times, but the defense let the offense down way more. Even the special teams was okay. Except for the opening kick return, where we got the whole Gun Olszewski was gone. We would have had the ball on, the 30-yard line? That's points right there. Penalties killed us too, James. The defense and penalties killed the New York Giants today. And then if you want to talk about an interception that Russell Wilson threw in the back end of overtime, we can talk about that too, but I really don't want to do that. Zero says, Dash, remind me, how much money did we spend on defense? That's a fact. There were a couple good plays by Holland, but again, we don't really remember the good plays. We focus on the bad plays. That's the thing. Guys, Newman made some plays too. He had a nice tackle in the open field. Not better than that Andrew Phillips one, but he still, it was on third down. Still stopped him short. Defense made some plays. Andrew Phillips made some plays. That was a big interception that he got. Big stops, big interceptions. We got some players on this defense, man. We have something to build. We have a foundation to build on. We can't allow penalties and then a defensive coordinator to ruin everything. I'm still here sitting here ready for Marquand Manuel. We already finally moved on from James Hudson. Marcus Bowe is now that left tackle until Andrew Thomas comes back. And the funny thing is, Andrew Thomas saw that performance today. I wonder if Andrew Thomas is ready to go next week. What do you guys think about that? His job might be in jeopardy. Do you think he still slow rolls it, or you think he comes back? I think he comes back sooner than later. John David, that's just a simple fact. Giants don't know how to win. That's what it is. We pretended like we knew. Russ pretended like he knew how to win, but at the end, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think I'm all caught up with supers. EMAC, that's a fact. The disappointment. That one hurt. It hurt. And you know what? This stream is kind of like therapy, because you know what? Before I started YouTube, after losses, I had to go to sleep. I'm pushing through them. I'm pushing through the losses now. Nova Nebula, what's going on, Nova? He says only the Giants, and it's the same thing every time. My man Tiger, Tiger Metal Stack says if Bowen's still there next game, I ain't watching. That's a lie. We're gonna be watching. Reluctantly maybe, but you're gonna be watching. The New York Giants. If the New York Giants didn't do anything, they made you interested in the next game for sure. That offense made it interesting. That offense made the next couple of games interesting. And if Russ can have half of the performance that he had today, I like our chances. That defense got to play better though. And I hate that I got to keep on saying that. Danny Boy, what's going on, Danny Boy? He says Dash 0-4 Dart starts versus Saints. I do believe that. You're in a must-win situation. Somehow, some way, you got to win the next two games. And it just so happens it's the Chiefs and the Chargers. It's going to be tough. Some people might think it's impossible. You got to find a way to win these games. You really do. Because if you start the season 0-4, mathematically, even though it's not mathematically, but mathematically, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I can't wait to see the post-game pressers either. To see what these players had to say. That was a heartbreak. Like we're like we feel this way as fans. Imagine how the players feel. They're the ones that played that game. Like the defense knows how close they were to pulling this game off. I wanted this game so bad. It was in Dallas too. The last time we won in Dallas, I can't even tell you. It's been a long time. They were talking about it. I know last time we beat Dallas was 2020, 2021. Sima Singh says, get Bowen out of here. That's a fact. Bowen is trash. Yeah. Hudson is send Hudson to Attica. Yeah, he can go there too. He's still in water. Dexter, where are you? Yeah. Not really going to get into that right now, but a discussion will be had in the upcoming week about Dexter Lawrence. And again, I think it's more about Dexter Lawrence still not being in game shape yet. He made a couple plays today. He got a lot of push, but he has not been the dominant Dexter that we're used to seeing. I will say that. Too early for that conversation, though, Mr. Handsome. Too early. Too soon. Zero says not missing much with the Eagles, Chiefs, Colts, Broncos is a better game. Yeah, listen, I'm about to shut this thing down for sure. Marcus Thompson said I meant I would have kept Forsyth rather than Hudson. Got you now. Based on what I had seen of the two, Hudson is not good. He's not good, and he costs you penalty, and he costs you points. Hudson cost us 4 points today. I can say that with absolute fact. The way Cam Scatterboo was running today, and he got a touchdown today. The way he was running today, yeah. As soon as Wan'Dale Robinson catches that pass, ends up on the 1 yard line, you're running the ball the next play, and you're giving it to Scatterboo, and you're looking at 7 points instead of 3. Facts. You can't convince me otherwise. Sean says Dart at least got some jitters out. I believe so. You saw him slipping everything. He fell down. It is what it is. I think they went to the well too many times though. Like after the second time, you're not fooling anybody when it comes to this Dart package. You're not really fooling anybody unless he's really going to go out there and throw the ball. I will say this though, the palette is wet already. The palette is wet. People are ready. They saw Pauls. They saw Jackson Dart out there in real games getting snaps, running. Not even running an offense, but running a play, running an RPO. And, people want to see more. If Russ would have had a quiet game, Dart probably starts against Kansas City Chiefs. Just because you already got him in there, what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for, huh? What are we waiting for? I think a lot of people feel the same when it comes to Shane Bowen. Gotta go. Dash is 10-10 at the half. What time is that? 10? Oh, damn, that was 10 minutes ago. I'm about to get out of here. I'm going to get through these last couple of super chats, and then I'm going to get out of here. Cornelius says, Dart put us in a critical 3rd and 5 when he slipped. That's true. Causes should have been first down. Now, that's true. He turned a 3rd and short to a 3rd and 5. That's a fact. He slipped. He absolutely slipped. Pickens is slime. Hudson needs therapy. I like that. Oh, man. All right, man. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to enjoy. Well, some of y'all are watching the game and watching me at the same time. But I'm gonna get on out of here, man. Again, tough loss for the New York Giants here. Good performance by Russ. It should have been a walk-off. This should have been one of those games stamped in the history books for Russell Wilson as his comeback game type deal, especially after the performances he had at Denver and at Pittsburgh, but that didn't happen. But outside of that, big games by Malik Neighbors, the offense proved that they can put up points. The defense has to prove that they can stop anybody, just anybody. Somebody said Andrew who when I said Andrew Thomas. That's a fact. Andrew who. Trying to find one of those last comments to end the stream on. That way we could take it into next week. All right, shout out to my man D-Dan. We're going to end it with this one right here. He says, win at home next week against the Chiefs, and we're back in business. That's where we're going to end this this recap. Shout out to everybody for joining the stream. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you go ahead and do that. And yeah. New York Giants with a heartbreak loss this week. Hopefully we can take some of this offensive momentum into next week against the Chiefs, because we're absolutely going to need it. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation.